Hello everyone, welcome to Dealroom's product launch. You're all very welcome. We are going to be getting started right away. So we've got an awful lot we want to share with you today. We're really excited about a lot of products, features that we've been launching over the last few weeks. So we're going to get straight into it. Maybe first intros though. I'm Orla Brown, I'm Head of Insights at Dealroom, and I'm here with Felix and Johan.
I'm Felix Almer. I work in research at Dealroom, and I'm super excited to show you about a bunch of the new features we've been working on.
And I'm Johan Mijngaarden. I'm the founder and CEO of Dealroom.
Nice. So we do want you to let us know where you're dialing in from. Put your comments in the chat. I know that we've got people from Estonia and the Netherlands so far, but lots of other people already dialed in too. I'll be keeping an eye on my phone here, and also if you have questions as we're going along, let us know. We'll try and address them as we're going along, but also towards the end as well. Now, a little bit of what we're going to be going through as in this hour or so that we're here. As I said, a lot of work that we've been putting out, but we're going to be going through how to discover stealth startups and founder factories on Dealroom. Also our extended people data with contact details and much more connected and deeper people data behind all of the companies in Dealroom. We've got some productivity tips, and then live location pages, sector pages, and table that Felix is going to bring us through, and some investor toolkit stuff as well. So Power Law VC investor ranking, an LP dashboard, and some stuff on multiples with a little bit of product roadmap at the end. So we better get started because there's a lot to get through here. I am going to take us through the first bit. So I mentioned founder factories. So founder factories we've all kind of heard about the PayPal Mafia. So the PayPal Mafia is kind of some of the early staff from PayPal who went off to start new companies and created lots of the biggest companies in Silicon Valley. Well, actually, there's lots of other founder factories that kind of follow that same model, and you can now track them all on Dealroom as well. Right here on the dashboard, we've got a little shortcut for you. So you can see a little bit of suggestions of some places to start, some interesting companies. So let's have a quick look at Airbnb as a starting point. So when we click through, it will take you to the alumni founders of Airbnb, so staff who've previously worked at Airbnb and gone on to found a startup. We've also automatically got this filter on to show companies founded since 2024. And of those, there are 48 people who've previously worked at Airbnb and founded a startup since then, which is pretty remarkable. We can also take off this filter if we want, so we can see the full list. So there's actually 500 alumni founders from Airbnb alone. And you can also save this if you want to. So if we say Airbnb Mafia, now I've got a saved search, and I'll get alerts anytime there's any new matches for this query. So any new company founded by Airbnb alumni, you'll be the first to know. Pretty cool. But we can also explore the same data on the companies table here as well. So the usual companies table, all the filters work as before, but if we go to the filters and the founder section here, along with lots of other things that you can filter by, if we scroll down, we can see previous companies. And in here again, we can add Airbnb, but we can actually add more than one if we want to. Let's add Spotify, and we can add Klarna. So we can then see all of the companies founded by anyone who's previously worked at these three unicorns. You can see there's some pretty big companies in here as well. You can also add on a few filters on top of that. So let's say we're only interested in relatively recently founded companies and maybe with up to 10 million raised, so relatively early stage. And there's 342 companies that match all of this criteria. Again, you can save that search, and then in your daily email, you'll get updates of when there's new companies that match this. And also back on the dashboard, you'll see in your alerts, so next to where we started, the founder factories, your alerts will also show you when there's new matches here as well, so you can see some of the ones I've got.
And maybe, Orla, it's good to mention that a lot of this data is driven by people data.
Yes, exactly. So we've been massively building out, I think, like 4x our kind of people data in general in the last few months. Quadrupled, yeah. But the fact that we're able to connect them with the companies and with the places that they've studied and all of this means that we can slice and dice the data in lots of different ways. So yeah, super easy to now explore founder factories directly from the dashboard. On to stealth startups, which I also mentioned I'd touched on. So if we go back to the companies table. So stealth startups, first of all, are companies that are not yet launched, but they're being built. So they haven't yet disclosed the kind of maybe technologies or product or business model that they're going to be pursuing, partly because they don't want to get kind of disrupted or copied too quickly. But some of these can be some of the most interesting companies as well. So people go to a lot of effort to try and seek out these startups before they've even launched. We've kind of done lots of the hard work for you now, basically. So if we go to Bootstrapped here, on the companies table, we've got this save search for stealth startups. So there's over 6,000 of them on Dealroom right now. And you can see, so it looks a little more sparse compared to the normal companies table just because the logos are missing, but that's kind of understandable. But there's actually a lot of data still underneath all of these. So we can see some information on here about the areas that they're operating in, when they were founded, where they're based. And again, we can add on some filters on top. So maybe we want to just look at stealth startups with a serial founder. And actually, there's over 1,500 of those right now. If you click through on any of these, you'll also see a little bit more information about what they're up to and who the founder is behind them and what they've done previously as well. And once again, you can save this search. So you get notified of any new stealth startups with a serial founder that come up onto Dealroom. So yeah, pretty nice, very quick ways of finding some of the most exciting companies around right now. And yeah, as you said, Yoram, it's all based on people data. So if we go to this people section in Dealroom, you can see the most important people operating in startup ecosystems right now, particularly with a particular focus on founders and investors. But you can also see in the saved searches up here, some of the ways that we can use this people data to discover promising opportunities. Again, by combining it with things like, in here we've got new founders. So if we go to that one, it then shows you the ones that have founded companies founded since 2024, 68,000 of them. We can also look at those stealth founders again, serial founders, founders of alumni of unicorns, people who've previously worked in big tech, people with PhDs or have come out of notable mafias. So yeah, and we can combine some of that information as well. So if we look at founders with a PhD that have founded a company since 2020, maybe we actually want to just look at the ones that also have worked at a unicorn. And there's nearly 1,800 of those. So that's actually a massive number. People who have a PhD, have worked at a unicorn, and have founded a company since 2020. So yeah, really nice data to be able to explore and potentially want to get in touch with some of these people. Yeah, so that's kind of a very quick run through of some of the new data that we've added on the people site.
Nice.
Yeah. But next over to you, Felix. I think you're doing the next few, right?
Yes. So already loads of really cool stuff that Ola has been sharing. I already want to say that obviously this might all be going very fast. We'll have a recording of this that we'll be sending out to all attendees of this webinar. And we also have dedicated videos where we explain every feature one by one again. So if you're missing something here, don't worry about it. We got you covered.
Yes. And actually, before you start, let's just give a shout out to people because we've got people dialed in from Bordeaux, South Yorkshire, Leipzig, Amsterdam, Tbilisi, Luxembourg, France, Lancaster, Queensland, Australia. Don't know what time it is there at the moment. Austria, Spain, a houseboat, and Glasgow. So welcome, everybody.
Well, it's great to have so many people from all over the world. Talking about that, I want to tell you a little bit about what we are doing on locations and also on the sectors. So that might be interesting to some of you dialing in from different places. Let me start with the sectors and how you can explore those in Dealroom. So we added some new tables for this. And let me just show you first the tables and then go into the specific pages where we have a quick overview dashboard of locations and of specific sectors. So when you go on the left here in the platform, you can find this sectors button, which brings you to a sectors table. Here you can find the world's top sectors, track their development over time, and just generally be in the know of what's hot right now. There's a few things I want to show you here. First of all, we obviously have some key stats in this table. And if you're wondering what any of these mean, you can just hover on the tooltip and it explains exactly what you're looking at right now. And there's two more things I really want to stress here. One is the rank and the other one is the sector signal. So the rank is something that we compute over time. So it's based on the last couple of years of VC activity. That is the total round volume, the number of rounds. And it just generally shows you the top sectors, the most interesting sectors in the world over the last couple of years. But then you might also be interested in something that's a little bit more recent, a little bit about more what is hot at the moment. So we also built the sector signal, which takes into account our news feed and just generally shows you maybe what is being written about a lot this week and what is hot right now. So if we filter for this, we can take a quick look and we see a bunch of interesting sectors here like AI computing infrastructure, nuclear fusion, spacecraft parts. And this is updating every week to really show you some interesting sectors you should maybe be in the know about.
And it gets super niche as well, as you can see in here. So,
yes. Absolutely. And say, okay, like now you have some key stats, but you want to dive a little bit deeper into a particular sector. So with these badges, you can already see if we have some dedicated research available. So let's just take a look at defense. And you can do that either by clicking on the link in the name here, or if you want to look for a specific sectors page, you can just go to the search box up top, click on sectors, and then go to the sectors page this way. So that brings you to the dashboard, the overview section of one of these sector pages. And we also have location pages. So not only can you learn this way about technologies, industries, and the like, but on locations pages also about cities, countries, but also larger regions. But let's just start with the sector pages here. They give you a quick overview where you can track founder movements. You can see how a sector is evolving over time. You will surface up and coming startups, and you will also be able to find Dealroom research, news, and funding rounds all in one place. So as you can already see here on the sectors page overview, we have the founder alerts where you can find newly founded startups. We also have VC investment and enterprise value over time. So these are always great to take a look at if you want to get like a general idea of what the activity in a sector and also the value creation actually is. And just something I want to tell you before I dive a little bit deeper into these sector and location pages is who this is actually interesting for. So say you're a VC that is focusing on a specific region or a specific sector, or maybe you're a government that wants to understand your own city or benchmark yourselves against other cities, countries, or regions. This is really a great place to start. So let me show you a little bit more about what we have in these pages. So we also have a companies section where you can find newly founded startups, but you can also find the fastest growing companies, hiring companies, and the unicorns that we're all often so interested in. I also want to show you the research section where you can find landscapes and lists that are curated by us, but also a lot of the bespoke research that we built at Dealroom that we know you guys love so much. And lastly, let's take a quick look at the news section where we aggregate all the news that is relevant to this sector. And that can be, and then we also highlight some of the most interesting ones, be that financing or just generally news in the sector here.
And maybe actually just a small thing on the research, because
yes, of course.
It's a small but mighty improvement. But if you open one of these reports, it now keeps you within the app. You don't need to kind of add your email address in to download the report again, which has been a pain point for people before. Absolutely.
So we're trying to bring a lot of that research more into the platform. And I think this is going to be quite wonderful for a lot of you guys. So let me just go back a little bit. So I showed you these sector pages. I've been talking a lot about those location pages as well. But before we move there, I want to quickly show you that, hey, maybe you're an investor that's interested in defense and you're only active in, say, the Nordics, for example. You can do this here by just looking for the region you're interested in, and everything on this page will be filtered to that specific region as well. So now we're just looking at defense in the Nordics. But say we want to look at a location in general. So not just at a specific sector, but a location overall. I can also do that here. Say I'm interested in the United Kingdom, since we already have a bunch of people dialing in from there. And again, how I was looking for sectors in the beginning, now I'm looking for location pages. So here we go. And a lot of the things that I've shown you earlier apply the same way. So the structure of this page is the same as the sectors page. It allows you to do the same things, find the interesting companies, see the investment trends over time, find the founders, and obviously also find a bunch of the bespoke research that we've been doing here. And yeah, overall, I hope that this gives you a great starting point to understand your own, but also other tech ecosystems. And on the point of tech ecosystems, Yoram is actually going to tell you a little bit more about some different lenses you can use to look at those. So over to you, Yoram.
Yeah, so I'm going to talk about a new dashboard that we've just released. It's the tech ecosystem funnel. So yeah, we've been releasing a lot of new stuff around sectors and locations. It kind of shows you the let's say the status quo. So how are these locations ranked, how many startups are there, how much funding is going in. But we all know that an ecosystem is not just a scoreboard, but it's actually more like a funnel. And we've just released a new dashboard where you can really look at ecosystems this way. So here you can kind of see what the world funnel looks like. So this is basically the entire world, every startup. And there are about, on the left in this purple arrow, you can see there are about 60,000 startups that are being founded every year, and about 21,000 of them get funded for the first time every year. So this is the flow of startups that gets added to the pool. Then you see here a breakdown by number of startups, breakouts, scale-ups, and you can go into more detail. Number of outcomes by revenue, going to valuation outcomes. So we can see that out of the 60,000 startups that get founded every year, so far there have been 6 gigacorns created. So there's 6 companies that have more than $1 trillion in valuation. So you can see basically here what that drop-off looks like.
And I mean, this is great because people often ask us hey, how many startups actually succeed? How many unicorns are actually being created in our ecosystem? And this is giving you a quick overview of what these shares actually look like.
Yeah. I think we get asked almost every day, what's the unicorn conversion? Here you can see about 1.5% of startups turns into a unicorn. So here you have the direct access to the live data. 0.01% of startups becomes a centicorn. So this is the world funnel, but you can go to the entire list. So we have this for every single location in the world, every continent, every country, every city, every mega hub. And so you can go into all this data and also compare. For example, you can select more than 1 or 3. You can select as many as you want and also compare their conversion rates here. And you can look at different metrics. So we're now looking kind of at the summary. You can look at different funding stages, revenue stages, valuation stages. So before we said, okay, there are 6 gigacorns. You can also look how much value they have been created and what the contribution is, relative contribution is of that. So there is basically a lot more that you can do here, and not only by location but also by sector. So, for example, the other day I got asked, what's the conversion from startup to unicorn in deep tech and in AI, and how does that compare with the overall? Those are all the kind of things that you can do here. This has been primarily made for the ecosystem builders that we work with, but we get asked this also all the time by VCs who are working on their own research and who are doing also working on their decks that they need to also tell stories for their LPs.
Nice. We had a couple of questions. One was about where they can find it, because we haven't actually added this funnel page to the nav yet, but we've just today made a landing page. But yeah, someone has also spotted the URL and shared it. So yeah, you can find it at app.dealroom.co/funnel. And Rich from Tech SY said they'd love to pin a funnel for South Yorkshire on their own platform. So yeah.
Great.
With music to my ears. That is exactly how we intended it. So yes, South Yorkshire will get in touch because that would be really cool. So we talked about the kind of how this distribution and these extreme outcomes, which is a nice bridge to the second topic, which is our power law ranking. So this really looks at, okay, who are the investors that are very successful in backing these kind of mega outcomes early on. And some of you have already seen this because this ranking has got a lot of attention in the last few weeks, but it's now also integrated into the platform. And there's, it's live data. And there's a lot that you can do with this. So, for example, you can go to see the global ranking here, and there's different ways to look at the data. I think this is a great way to see the power law in action. If it comes to kind of seed to unicorn or seed to 100 million plus revenue companies, very, very few investors actually manage to back those all the way. And there's even fewer investors that do this multiple times. So these kind of serial seed to unicorn backers are very, very rare. You're talking about 1% or top 2.5% to top 5%, but not much more than that.
So of 8,000 investors, over 7,000 have never backed a unicorn from seed.
Yeah, not yet. And this is very important. I think if you're a founder, obviously you want to know who the best investors are. But if you are, let's say, an asset allocator or involved in policy, it's also very important to realize, like, if you want to get more money into the system, yes, but the allocation of that money also really, really matters.
And also if you're a job seeker, maybe, because you can also, in Dealroom, kind of filter by investor to find companies that you might want to go and work for.
Exactly. Yeah, I will not show that now, but basically you showed the filters earlier, and you can see, okay, who are the companies backed by Y Combinator or by Sequoia? Who is a startup backed by Y Combinator that's involved in deep tech and has job openings in Amsterdam? You can actually do these kind of filters.
Super cool.
Something that's also somewhat new is here you can see all the outcomes that we've counted. You can export this data. You can also switch. So Y Combinator is number 1 globally. Within the UK, they are number 43, which maybe sounds surprising, but because they are so global, within EMEA, they are number 8. So in individual countries, they don't rank that high, but on a global level, they rank very high. So that's the power law ranking, which is a nice bridge then to the next thing that we're very proud of, is the LP ranking. So LP stands for limited partners. So we're talking about investors of the investors, the institutions and family offices, pension funds, sometimes individuals and fund of funds, such as Adam Street Partners here, that invest in VC firms. And this is like a notoriously opaque ecosystem that we are really now shining a light on and bringing data transparency to it. So in this new dashboard, you can see who those investors are, what investments they've made, and you can also read about their background. So everybody knows CalPERS, the California pension fund. Here you can see what they've invested in, which funds they've invested in, what their allocation strategy looks like, both by geography and by maturity. So especially with emerging managers in mind, we've also made special lenses for emerging managers to really service the LPs that don't shy away also from backing new investors.
They're going to be getting a lot of inbound suddenly from people using this dashboard.
Yeah, that's definitely a possibility. And yeah, if you want to look, for example, into family offices, there's now I switched to Europe as a location and investor type family office. Here is a company called Rancilio Cube. It's established in 2013 as a family office of the Rancilio family, following the sale of their espresso machine company, founded in 1927.
Wow.
So there are lots of these interesting anecdotes about, also these Mittelstand companies in Germany that start to invest in tech. But there's also a lot of interesting stuff here around pension funds. So while very few pension funds are investing, they are increasingly doing that, and here you can see who they are.
And LP data was very frequently requested by our users, which is why we've tried to make the most comprehensive and transparent dashboard possible. But yeah, everything we've kind of shown today are also basically things that people have asked about, and we've tried to build a solution for. So if you do have feedback about any of these new features or anything else that you would like to use, then let us know and we'll maybe get around to building it.
100%. Which, like, another thing that's been asked all the time are deal multiples. We've already released public public company multiples, so trading multiples for public companies last year. Now we've also added multiples around exits and VC rounds. So that's now live, something we're also very excited about bringing to our users. It's one of the most requested features. And so this is live. So here you can see in real time what the valuation and the multiple is for new rounds. So we're seeing here Grok, we're seeing Nothing, 2.6 times, Perplexity, 133 times, Mistral, Anthropic, and you can click on any of these and get more details around the valuation, but also related deals. So Anthropic, you can compare it here with previous Anthropic rounds, but also with other companies like Cohere, OpenAI, Synthesia, etc.
Yeah, and this is useful for investors when they're trying to maybe figure out how to value a company when they're coming up to do a new round, so they can understand what's happening in the market right now, because multiples do kind of shift a little bit, but also what's happening in particular sectors or in the kind of competitor landscape of a particular company.
Exactly. Here you have all the filters, so you can filter by sector if you want. We've also added some visualizations, so segments and time series. So in time series, you can see how these multiples have developed over time. I think it's really interesting that exits are still not yet at the level, exit multiples are not yet at the 2021 level. Within VC rounds, it's kind of a bit more, at the forefront. You can see that multiples are actually getting back to the 2021 levels.
Driven by some really big ones happening in AI, presumably.
Yeah, exactly.
But this is kind of, some of the stuff we've got on here is really never before seen, like it hasn't existed before.
No.
So it is pretty exciting. We've been playing around with it a lot ourselves as well.
You can choose between pre and post money. Within segments, like you can see by growth segment how what the effect on the multiple is. Deal size, location, so North America getting higher multiples than Europe. Sectors, so space is a sector with a higher multiple, for example, in travel, but which is not surprising maybe, but you can see the degree of difference, I think, is what's interesting. And then by round type, so here we've also have the standardized round methodology where you can really see, okay, what is the average or the median Series A multiple, 14 times. Series A extension, 8 times. Interesting that the extension rounds are always lower. So this is also quite interesting, and I would encourage people to dive in, because this is just really a treasure trove of insights.
Yeah, let us know if you find some interesting things as well. We'd be curious to see them.
So what's next?
Well, I actually forgot to do something at the beginning in my section.
The Chrome extension.
The Chrome extension,
Yes.
So back to me. Yeah, this is a new little productivity hack. If anyone hasn't downloaded it already. Let's see if we got it here, hopefully. There is a Dealroom Chrome extension. with 5 stars in the store. So it is already recommended. But yeah, this is a really nice little tool that means it just massively improves workflow and kind of allows you to get insights on any company directly when you're on their website. So as an example, if we have a look at Data Snipper, because we were looking at this earlier, you can see up in my Chrome here, there's a little Dealroom logo. And if I click on that, you'll see some information about the company. So you'll see they last raised in 2024. They raised 100 million at $1 billion valuation. You can see some key people in the company. You can also see their contact details so that you can directly get in touch with the founders if you're an investor and want to reach out or want to support them on their journey. You can see information about their headcount growth, their web visits, their investors, and then you can also click through to see them on their full Dealroom profile as well, where you can find lots more contextual information as you normally see. So yeah, it might be that you kind of come across a company in a news article or whatever, you end up on the website and you can do a quick little check of like, oh, it looks like an interesting company I want to have a look at. So yeah, big recommend to everybody go download the Chrome extension and install it as well.
All right. Wow. This was a lot of new things we're announcing today. And we're obviously super excited for you to get your hands on it. And we understand, as I was already saying before, it's a lot of information. So we made it easy for you and recorded 10 how-to videos that are now live on YouTube. We'll be sharing the links to these, obviously, after the webinar is over. And there we go over each of the features that we presented today in more detail. And you can watch those in your own time. And we'll also have all of this on our knowledge base. So the Dealroom knowledge base generally is a great place to take a look at if you're trying to learn about the platform, how to use it, where you can find interesting insights. And all of this will obviously also be covered there. So shall we maybe look at some questions?
Yeah. So, well, we've actually got a bit of the product roadmap we want to show as well. So if people want to put their questions into the chat, and then we'll maybe see if we've got some time as we go. But,
yes, absolutely. So please take the time, come up with some questions, whatever you're interested in. We're here to answer everything. And yeah, very excited for that. But until then, Yoram is going to show you a bunch of the stuff that's on the roadmap that's still coming. So what we sort of have in the works for the next product webinar.
Yeah. So the stuff that we've shown were like we really listened to our users and what did they want, yeah. That's what we've been focusing on. Another thing that fits into that category is the Zapier integration. Like it's something that our users really want in order to connect with other CRM systems. We also use Zapier internally for a lot of stuff. It's really useful. So yeah, this is coming soon. Soon meaning in the next couple of weeks. So if you want to talk with us about a Zapier integration, like talk to us and we can make it work for you. Another big thing is AI. So actually everything we just showed you has a lot of AI working in the background. But we obviously also want to bring this into the front end. So in the next couple of weeks, we're going to also release an AI-powered search bar, so where you can search more with kind of natural language and type what you have in mind, and the AI understands what you're looking for and points you in the right direction. There also be opportunity to kind of communicate about an individual profile with AI to dive deeper into a specific company, for example. So that's coming. Shareholder information is coming soon, so you'll be able to see for an individual startup who owns it, if there's an exit, you can see like who benefits, and those kind of stuff. So that's obviously super interesting. And there's more, but yeah, we don't want to overload you. that this is it for now.
Yeah, exactly. We did have a question, which is, can we rewatch today's demo videos? Yes, so we're recording this, but we've also got little short 1 to 3 minute videos on each of the features that we've just shown you. So we're going to send that out to everybody after this, and then you'll be able to rewatch in case we've gone a little bit too fast. We've got a question as well, which is, how do you make sure contacts are up to date?
Yeah, how do we make sure contacts are up to date? I mean, we do our best, but I would say if, these things do take a lot of maintenance, and if you're finding that contacts are not up to date, just tell us about it, and we'll turn it around. If you're in a hurry, we'll turn it around immediately.
And maybe another under promoted feature by us actually is there's a button at the top of every company page that says request enhancement.
Yep.
And if you're seeing anything that's missing or that you wouldn't expect to see on a profile, if you hit the request enhancement button, our team is going to take a look at it, and you'll get an email as soon as it's all been updated as well. We've also got, do you plan to develop an nation API integration?
Don't think it's on the roadmap so far, but that's why so it's not on the roadmap so far, but that's why we're asking for feedback. So if this is something many of you are interested in, we're definitely going to take a look.
I didn't get it. What integration?
N8N, it's like an automation tool.
N8N, yeah, of course.
Yeah.
That makes a lot of sense as the next step.
Yeah.
It's like we did Zapier now, but I would say N8N probably next.
Yeah, cool.
And if there's someone who specifically wants to work with us on an N8N integration for a project, reach out and we can talk about it.
Cool. We've also got more requests. Can you make it easier to benchmark valuation directly on a startup profile page? It's a nice suggestion. So again, not on the roadmap right now, but could be.
Maybe the next one. Yeah.
Nice. Thank you all very much for joining us. As I said, we're going to send out the emails with all the videos so you can rewatch them and this one as well. And do get in touch. Please do fill in this feedback form and let us know what you thought. This is actually kind of the first time we've done a product webinar like this, so we'll hopefully be doing more. But let us know what you think, and we'll do better for next time as well. Thanks very much.
Thank you so much.